Attenzione pickpocket.
Attenzione pickpocket.
Attenzione pickpocket.
What's the second thing she says? Attenzione thief. Is it that what?
Attenzione borseatrici.
What's that mean?
I assume bolsea is like bolsa in Spanish, like it's purse. So attenzione purse trici means probably purse thief.
Do you speak Spanish?
It's complicated.
Hi, welcome to Basic Training, a podcast for people that need help.
That's right. Attenzione.
Attenzione pickpocket. That's gonna be.
Attenzione pickpocket.
Okay, wait.
It's gonna be old news by the time.
Yeah, it's gonna be old news by the time this comes out. The thing I need to talk about right off the bat. Okay, I'm sorry. I feel absolutely psychotic. People keep on commenting on my videos online that I remind them of Vince Vaughn. And then I just made a video being like, guys, I feel crazy. You guys are saying I remind you of Vince Vaughn. And then everyone's commenting on it being like, oh my God, I see it.
I in a million years, I wouldn't see it.
And then I go, here's the crazy, because I haven't told you this yet. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, this is crazy. And then and in the video, I'm like, I'm so gay. Like, Vince Vaughn is like the pinnacle, like such a like characteristically heterosexual, like early 2000s straight male comedy. I like a lot of Vince Vaughn's movies. I'm not like anti-Vince Vaughn here. I just don't, I've never once seen myself in this man. I go, I'm so gay in the video. Someone comments, it's your voice and your humor. Those are the gayest things about me. What are you talking about?
I think, honestly, if they're not talking looks, because looks, absolutely not.
Yeah, I don't look like, I'm like looking at myself in the monitor right now. I don't look like
There's
him.
no Vince Vaughn there. But what I do understand, maybe what people are getting, is that your character, like the caricature of yourself, like the way that you speak, you're the same as me, where we do sort of a condescension thing. Like we're just talking, like, here's the rules. And like, let me tell you what my opinion is.
And
like,
that's how Vince
talks? The objective
talks?
Truth. And Vince talks sort of like a, no, you listen to me. Like, okay, here's how I'm going to lay it out. Like, it's a condescending thing. You know what I mean?
Wait, do you think people think I'm condescending?
No, it's just like, the way that you present your opinions is very much like, here is the right way.
Sure.
Listen up. Here it is. And that's what people love about you. It's a shtick, and people don't think that you're like that in real life.
Okay.
But that's what Vince Vaughn's whole thing is just being kind of like,
it is
shut up, let me speak.
Okay, can you guys just comment and let me know if you think I remind you of Vince Vaughn, and if so, how? And then provide specific clips of where and when I have reminded you of Vince Vaughn. This is nothing against Vince Vaughn. I just don't, I feel crazy.
I'd be interested to see a clip. Vince Vaughn has actually always been on my list of people. I made a TikTok about this list a long time ago of people who I think, celebrities who I think would like me.
Oh, sure.
Like, I think that Vince Vaughn and I differ in many ways. He's such a libertarian. First of all, I think he's really hot, but I've always thought that he would find me like quite charming, and maybe it's just because I'm like, I don't know, young woman.
I could see you and Vince getting along. But
like, yeah, I just think we'd really get along. Like, I think I'd charm him.
Yeah.
Some other people I think would really like me are, who was I thinking of? When I made this video, I was like 20, so I said Jerry Seinfeld because I was young. That was like the whole punchline. What else?
What are celebrities? No.
People who would like me. Jerry Seinfeld would not like me now. Demi Lovato would like me.
Demi Lovato would like you.
Yeah, because she's just like so like, I'm just so good at like catering to people. Like,
okay.
I would like get her. I would get her vibe. And
Okay,
I'd, like,
interesting.
Be like her for that time that we were talking. You know what? I'd be so fake with Demi Lovato.
Do you know that I love Demi Lovato's music?
Yeah, she's great.
Her voice is so good. That album, the Black and White album, is the one. Tell Me You Love Me. That's the single on it. Is that the name of the album? That album is so good.
I love the song that goes 17, 29. I also love the song that goes La La Land. Who's sad? And she does that thing, the Demi Lovato voice, where she's like, who's sad? I can't wear my Converse. You know what I'm talking about? With my dress, well, baby. Another thing. So Demi Lovato used to be known back in the Disney days, I don't think so much anymore, for like having a gigantic smile, like a big toothy smile.
Yeah,
that was like
I
a
remember.
cute thing about her. And I used to do like child acting, like I would do auditions, and my dream
I didn't know
like,
that about you.
Yes, and I had an audition like every day after school, and I would go in to the casting room, and I would always smile for like a couple weeks. I would smile like Demi Lovato, like like that, because I wanted to have like a signature thing. Like I thought it was cool that Demi had that thing, so I was like, oh, that's gonna be my memorable thing.
Oh my God.
And then someone was like, okay, you can like lighten it up a bit on the smile. And I was like, never mind. It's not my thing anymore. But I always love that song. Yeah. What's the other one? Don't forget.
I feel so lucky that I'm not from a place. Like, I have a mix. Like, I sometimes resent that I grew up in a place where I had no access to like culture or like things in like the entertainment world because I was in like Vermont.
Yeah.
But I also think like I know that if I had lived in like New York or LA as a kid, I would have like demanded that I go to like auditions and do that. And I just think that like it would have been so damaging to me because I don't think I was actually like mentally or emotionally prepared to like be auditioning.
I think it was, I guess I always am wary to say like whether or not something was damaging for me because I feel like it'll come out later that maybe it was. But from what I think now, I think that it was actually very good for me.
Wait, explain.
I think that you know how like, okay, most kids, like you play sports, whatever. I was like musical theater and I would do auditions. That was like my little high stakes thing. Other kids were like trying out to be on club volleyball teams and trying out doing tournaments and winning awards for that. And in that, you lose all the time, right? And I didn't have a thing in musical theater. You would like not get parts, I guess.
Right.
You would get like a lead part sometimes and a background part other times. I needed to learn losing and rejection and whatever. And every single day, at least I shouldn't say every day, maybe twice a week after school or something, I would have some sort of audition and I would rarely get them.
What sort of stuff did you book as a kid?
I was in an Obama commercial. I was in, what else did I do? I was in a show called Passions when I was really little, a soap opera.
You were on Passions?
Yes.
Do you have a line?
No. I did. I caught somebody cheat. I think I caught my mom cheating on my dad or something. And I was like, Mommy. I have a video of me when I was a toddler and then I like came back, I think once. I still get residuals from it, is what I know. But SAG after strong. And what else? Oh, okay. Here's where it was good for me. Let me get back on track. There were many times where I almost like tasted the big break.
Yeah,
like I almost got there. I was the like second girl that was considered for this part on a sitcom called Gary Unmarried, and the other part went to this girl Catherine Newton, who's like a big Marvel person now, I think.
Oh yeah.
And I remember sitting there in the room with her and like comparing myself to her and getting insecure. And I remember them pulling me aside at the screen test and saying, "Hey, you're not going to continue from here. It's just going to be her now." And I was like, I think that I needed to learn to get over that. And I don't remember taking a long time like dwelling on that. I was sad for like a day. And that was when I learned about rejection in a way that like other kids in sports would learn that type of lesson. Like I needed that, something to teach me that. I also was supposed to be Kevin James's daughter in Grown Ups. I got really close for that role too.
Whoa.
And I didn't get that. But I remember the audition very vividly. I had to like get up and sing the song like tomorrow.
I don't think I've seen Grown Ups.
Whatever she sings. I don't know. But yeah, anyway, it taught me how to like deal with rejection and like let it roll off my back. And also I was constantly in rooms with adults and cameras and I had to just be very confident. I was never shy.
So it didn't, constantly getting rejected like that never fucked you up?
If it did, I think there are a lot of things that like fucked me up as a kid and that's not one of them. Like I don't think that was it. I think
that's
maybe
so,
like
I think it would have broken me.
You think that, but you get so used, it becomes so routine. Like the
right, but
one that really
life.
hurt me was not getting that TV show.
No, but I guess my point is
on.
like that's my life now is that I audition for things constantly and like whatever happens and like it hurts, but it doesn't like derail me. But I do have to do like conscious work to like not let myself get too excited about things. Like it's this weird balance of like you have to work really hard on these auditions, but also not put that much water in like the hope for them because like it's like a 1 in a million or not a 1 in a million, but like whatever it is. I feel like I don't think I had like the capacity to do that as a kid. But
frankly, I think that my mom like held all of that for me. And she was just, you know what I mean? Like I couldn't concern myself with like the money I might be losing or the fame that this part could bring me or how cool it would be to be on set. Who were these famous people? I was like 7. I didn't know who these famous people were. I didn't get why it would be cool to be
I
on
guess
the
like
show.
I'm thinking in my mind you're like 14, but 7's different.
I did it up until I was like 14, 13.
Yeah, I think that's where it would have started to break me.
When I was little, like I just didn't know what I was missing out on. I'm
Right,
sure my
no,
mom,
the
there were
scope of
times my
it.
mom was like bummed. Like I would have been such a cool thing for her.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that I wasn't like gonna get to be on the set with Adam Sandler. I didn't know who the fuck that was. Like I just
Right.
didn't
No,
care.
totally.
But I think that as soon as I was a little older, it started to hurt. I vividly remember sitting in the room because what happens is they used to have in-person auditions. And I remember every single little like strip mall in LA that has a little casting center
office.
in
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I remember all of them. And you would go in after school and I would always be in the car and I was just like a gross kid. Like I always spilled shit on my shirts. Like I always had bruises. My hair was always fucked. My mom would show up and like have a hairbrush, toothbrush, a little bit of like, she'd put like rouge on my cheeks and whatever.
Yeah.
And like she made me do bangs and like wear like a little shirt, like a kid shirt. And I would always go into these auditions and it's like 50 people who look like a version of you. It's
Right.
a bunch of blonde, blue-eyed little girls. But they all were like stage mom girls with like, they all were pageant types
No,
who
totally.
also did pageants on the side and their moms were like getting them in commercials.
Oh.
So
yeah,
like
yeah.
they would come in and be like, they looked like adults. Like they had blowout type hair and they had like these cute.
Oh.
Have you ever seen the girls that were like getting Target commercials at 9 years old? They
No,
looked
I
like
don't really-
mini teenagers.
I don't think I was like paying attention to that.
They were like model girls. They looked
Yeah.
like mini, and I was like a normal
An actual
looking
kid.
child.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I would get mad at my mom for like making me have the bangs and I'd wipe the bangs out of my face and whatever. It was like a whole thing. That's the only time I remember being a little insecure was that these girls all looked so much more like
Adult.
old, like teenagers. And I looked so young because my
That's
mom.
so interesting.
Yeah. But I remember it was also validating for me because I would do a really good job. And like they would tell me, oh, that was great. I like nothing made me happier than making like the 5 adults in the room laugh the way that I said the line. Like, you know?
Right.
And then I would come out and I like wouldn't consider if I got a call back, I'd be happy, but I wouldn't like think about it again. It was like a little thing that I
Right.
did.
You also have no scope of like money then. Like, so you don't
Right.
realize like what could potentially happen with your life.
Right.
Like, you just don't know.
When I was 18, I got to go and cash all the money that I made when I was acting when I was little.
Was it a lot?
No.
Okay.
It was like a bunch of 5-cent checks from when I was on that show. So I get it. Pay actors fair wages. I should be getting way more in residuals, in my opinion.
For one episode of Passions.
For my 2 episodes of Passion. I should be out there on the picket line. Why am I even here?
Are you SAG?
I don't know, actually. I don't think so. I think I didn't do enough work to be union. I
If
think
you
I was
want
like
me to-
one job away from
Yeah.
getting a union. Are you SAG? Yeah.
I could join, but I haven't because it's really expensive.
Yeah, it is a lot of money. No, I don't think
I think my next SAG job I have to join. Like
Yeah.
when I book it, I'm not allowed to do that job until I join.
Right, exactly.
I think is where I'm at.
I love unions.
God bless unions.
There should be an influencer union. Somebody tried to start one. I think the Green brothers tried to start an influencer union.
geez.
I really do think that it makes a lot of sense. Like we should have.
I mean, I think every kind of labor should have a union.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a big fan of content creator union.
Yeah.
But anyway, what else?
Um,
I don't know. It's been like forever since I had sexual intercourse. What about you?
wait, are you not hooking up because of Boat Guy?
No, I'm just not hooking up. I just like don't feel like it. Even if the boat guy were right here in the room right now.
Yeah. I re-downloaded Hinge. That was the thing.
Right,
I
that was the
re-downloaded
big
Hinge.
thing.
I re-downloaded Hinge.
Do you ever enlist like you asked for my opinion, but do you enlist?
You were the
people's
first person
help?
I've ever done that with.
Really?
Do you feel good about that?
Oh my god, yeah, I'm really
Yeah.
honored.
Or like I'm sure I've done it in the past, but like in recent memory, you're the first person I've done
What
that
I
with.
liked is that you took my advice.
Yeah, I changed the order of the photos.
I really
I hate when people
men
ask for advice and
ask-
don't take it.
in any way, but especially when people ask for advice with
Without
Hinge.
going into too much, that has been like a huge issue in my life where I'm like, do not ask me for my opinion. I'm not saying like you always have to take it, but like if it becomes a consistent pattern of like you are asking for my opinion to either then do what you were gonna do in the first place, like it's that thing of like you're just wanting to tell me that I agree with what you did.
Right.
And if it doesn't do that, it will be ignored. I'm like, then never ask me my opinion again.
And it's one thing to like say, oh, I want advice, but you really just want to like bounce something off of me and you want to like hear yourself talk.
Yeah.
Fine. But what happens is that they then complain to me about the road that they took that I told them not to take.
Well, yeah.
And it's like, that's what I can't stand.
See, actually, the first thing you think is a harder thing for me. Like, I can't handle, like, I have a very short, small bucket of energy for, like, being your, like, sounding board where I'm
Right.
not actually supposed to be, like, giving you actual feedback or advice. Like,
Right.
I think I'm too, like, not to, like, toot my own horn, but, like, I'm a horn. Like, not to toot my own horn, but, like, I'm a very active listener. Like if you're talking to me, like especially if it's like a big situation, like I'm listening, I'm thinking about it, I'm trying to like give incisive like feedback. I'm not gonna like if that's all just falling on deaf ears of you just wanting to like talk through this thing. Like I have very little energy for that. I find it incredibly draining when I'm just supposed to like listen and like not engage. Like I love listening. I'm always happy to listen to someone's problems. But if there's no like connection there of like, like what about like, you know, if it's like, no, I just need to like dump on you and then be done. It's like, I can do that in certain instances, but if that becomes like a pattern, I really run out of energy.
I get it. Yeah. I don't know. Having somebody just talk at me because they need to, I kind of find it like, okay, then I can like chill and just like nod my head. Like I love to like shut myself off. I have no problem like not being an active listener. But my issue is when they don't take my advice and then they complain to me after.
That's hard.
Like I always want to bring up personal examples and then I wonder why people get mad at me. There's just somebody, a dear friend of mine who is like making what I think is like one of the dumbest decisions of their life. And I know it's going to bring a lot of...
I literally know exactly who you're talking about.
No, but that's another one.
Oh.
No, I think that one's fucking stupid too, but I can't say anything about that.
Wait, I'm so mad I didn't guess right. Okay, fine, whatever. Do I even know the other person?
No, it's just like, I know that they're making a terrible decision.
That's hard.
And I know the types of people I always admire the most are the people who can do things that have qualities that I just don't possess naturally. And I don't have the patience to develop them. And one of those qualities is being a good friend and sticking by somebody without ever saying, I told you so. And without ever saying like, you know, just stop, don't complain to me. Like a truly good friend doesn't ever say, I told you so. But I am the queen of I told you so because I always told them so. I
agree with that.
I always told them so. I always knew the right thing. When you asked me for advice, I gave you the correct advice.
See, I guess it's like it's more of a timing because it's like I told you so right when the thing happens is so shitty. It's like not the time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, I don't do that.
But I told you so is important. Then next time they ask for something, it's like, remember when I told you this and you didn't do this and then this happened?
Right. That's what I need to start doing.
Listen to me now.
That's what I need to start doing.
I love that. I love being like you using it as a citation for why someone should listen to you
I'll
in the
do it
future.
next time they ask me for advice.
You know, because
I'm just like already anticipating like how hard this decision is going to make their life and how I'm going to be the one who's sitting here comforting them. And
that's
it's like
really hard.
Stupid, you know?
Yeah.
But the other one that you brought up that I didn't even remember, that's also another one. It's like, but you know what? That person doesn't fuck up that much. Like I'm happy to not say I told you so and just like be the shoulder to cry
Also,
on.
there is something to be said about like, I feel like I have been in situations where it's like, I see that you're doing this thing that's going to fuck up your life, but I also kind of see why you have to do that. Does that make sense?
It's what is it? A canon event? That's what
I
the
hate that
trend
term.
is. It's one of those words that's just popular now. It's like trending word is canon event. People like learned it and they think it sounds smart.
Yeah, and they're saying it's like one was like buying pink stuff for your freshman dorm room. I was like, okay, we need to like really chill out on like what are like formative experiences.
People also use the word coded all the time. I think I brought this up before, but they learned the word coded. Like somebody who went to film school came and told them about coded, and now it's like, this is so girl who went to summer camp coded. Like shut the fuck up, please. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. It's really hard for me to not say I told you not to do this and now you're doing it and I can't support you. A good friend would just be like, oh, it's okay. You made a bad decision.
When something bad happens to you, are you like, I need to talk to someone about this immediately, or do you like go internal and be like,
It depends how bad the thing was. Like I don't know. It's sometimes if I did something that I think is a little bit wrong, I need to talk to somebody to like work out a way to like take myself out of it. You know what I mean? Like I know I did something a little bit wrong, but I need to figure out like where that thing wrong was, like where in the situation it lies, and where I went wrong and how much worse my thing was than what the other person did.
Yeah.
Then I want to talk to somebody about it to like relieve my guilt and get somebody to say like, no, you're not as wrong as you think you are.
Right.
But if it's just like a thing, like I'm really stressed, I just want to be the fuck alone. Like for something about me is this is really shitty to say on an advice podcast. We love to to give your advice. Like I love to give people advice. I don't ever ask for advice. Like unless it's like a professional thing or a legal thing, like I'll ask my manager or something for advice or whatever when it comes to work stuff that genuinely he knows more about this subject than I do. But when it comes to interpersonal things, what should I do about my crush? What should I do about my fight with my mom? What should I do about making this decision for my apartment? nobody knows me better than I know me.
Yeah.
I don't want your opinion. Like, why would I know what I need to do. The answer is within me. I need to look for it within, you know?
Yeah. I feel that way a lot of times, but there are situations where I ask for advice 100%.
Really?
Yeah. Like there's been like a few times in my life where I've been like, I actually really don't know what to do. Like, I don't know, like, you know, like those situations where it's like neither option feels good.
Right.
It feels like picking the lesser of two evils, or like a truly like morally gray, like I don't know what the right thing to do is here. Or sometimes if it's like you have to do something that's going to suck and you needed someone to kind of like talk you through how it's like okay to do that thing.
Right.
I get that.
Yeah, I just am not no, I never really have those problems. I find that there's never like a gray area in my life. Like everything is like either, you know, I feel this way or I feel that way.
Interesting.
And that gets me in trouble. Like it's not a great way to live, but like I don't find myself like calling a friend and being like, genuinely, what should I do? Like I don't care what they think. I think like I make more good decisions than they do. I don't trust them. I don't.
Interesting.
I don't know. I just like I know myself better than anyone else.
Right, but what? Okay, sure. But what about when like decisions? It's like it's not necessarily about knowing yourself. It's about like having situations where there are other people involved, and you're like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's like it's never. I'll tell people the situation to say like, what do you think they're gonna do, or what do you think they're thinking? But
Okay.
like I know what I should do.
Okay.
If someone's like, like if I get in a fight and I don't know how to like deal with it, how to apologize or how to approach it, I'm never gonna say like ask a therapist or ask my mom or ask anybody like what should I do. I know what to do. When it comes to like fixing my sink, paying my taxes, like then I need to ask for advice.
Sure.
But like with my own personal life, should I go to this school or that school? Should I should I get this apartment or that apartment? Like nobody knows but me. I have the answer.
Yeah.
I'm just asking and wasting your time.
That's often true of a lot of life, though. Is like it is.
Yeah.
Something that you know.
Right.
Yeah.
I just know everything.
Okay, so on that note, should we answer the first
Yes,
question?
I'm the smartest person in the world.
Did you pull up the
actually.
questions?
Yes, I did actually, because I'm so smart. Dun 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 dun. Oh. Down 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 down.
Here we go. First question.
Here we go.
Hey guys. So, okay. I'm going to keep this short. Basically, I was in like a 4-person friend group in school, and we just graduated, and me and one other girl were super close, and 2 other people were super close, but like we were all really close and like within this larger friend group. And towards the end of like our last semester, my best friend and one of the other girls in this 4-person group got into a huge fight. The one girl called my best friend some names and like really was just like so mean, and they're not friends anymore. And I guess I'm asking, like, I don't want to pick sides in a friend group, but, like, I feel weird that, like, all my other friends who, like, know what happened are, like, no one has said anything to my friend that called my best friend a bitch, basically. And I don't want to, like, pick sides or, like, I don't know, get myself in the middle of it, but I feel like if it was someone calling me a bitch, I would want my best friend to stick up for me. So, yeah, I guess I'm just asking, like, do I involve myself or do I just stay out of it? All right, thanks. Love you both.
I think if people, oftentimes I think
Yeah.
if people aren't picking sides, it's because they see both sides of the argument. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good.
Like if I'm in a situation where like someone called someone a bitch and like I'm not picking sides, it's because I probably agree the other person was kind of being a bitch.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? It's like I'm not a big fan of like blind loyalty. I don't think it's like a healthy thing in society.
Right.
Like I think we should be holding the people we love the most, we should be holding accountable. We should have empathy for why they are the way they are and understanding. But I don't think like blindly, like I understand like maybe not like ridiculing them in front of other people or like doing that, but like in behind closed doors being like, hey, I don't agree with what you did there, or like FYI, you know what I mean? And like knowing someone well enough to know the time and a place to like have those conversations. But like if they're not picking a side, I would guess it's because there's a reason. It's not like, I don't know that like picking sides is like a very healthy way to think about group dynamics.
Right.
Like it's not war. Like it's a friend group.
Right. I agree completely. I do think that like the advice here would be evaluate, like, do you feel like she was being a bitch, or do you feel like that was just like one person is completely in the wrong and the other person is not? Like, is there a gray area there? Do you agree with both a little bit? If you do, then just don't say anything. It's gonna blow over and just stay out of it. But like, if you feel that somebody called somebody a bitch in a really unwarranted way, took it out on, like, just did something really unfair, personally, I have I don't have a soft spot for like any type of fence rider. I don't. It's like one of my biggest pet peeves in the world is people who won't pick a side when they know which side's objectively right. And I'm talking about when you like people who will like come to you privately and be like, no, I'm with you. You were completely right. And then in public be like, oh, I'm just not going to say anything. It's like, then go fuck yourself. Honestly, you're not a friend, because I don't care. Like, okay, you're going to be unlikable for like 1 second by one person in the room. Deal with it. I'm your friend. Like, I completely agree about blind loyalty. I completely agree about telling your friends when you think that you disagree with something they said. But like, if you truly believe that your friend was not in the wrong and the other person was, and they need the backup, you better fucking back her up. Like, it's just,
no, totally. Like,
I
if
don't
the friend
care
was to
if
come
you're
to you and be like, so, like, you like Talia's being such a bitch, and like I didn't agree with that, I would like to think I would be like,
Right.
no, I don't agree with that.
Frankly,
You know?
it's like, look, I don't care what it. I know who my friends are, and I don't expect them to constantly defend me behind my back,
Right.
just for the sake of like not getting in a fight. Like, if somebody calls me, if someone talks shit about me because they're annoyed with me, whatever. I'm sure my friends, like, we all talk shit about each other sometimes.
Yeah.
If someone were to go behind my back and tell my other friend in like a group of 3, 2 of them talk privately without me, and one of them was like, oh, Talia's being a bitch, and the other one didn't agree, I wouldn't expect her to be like, don't say that. I'd expect you to be like, oh, you feel that way? And like, fuck, that sucks. Like, that's fine. I do not care. I don't expect that kind of loyalty.
Wait, but you would expect her to not be like, oh, I know she is such a bit, like,
yeah, no, don't agree. Just be like,
No,
oh my God, like, let her rant. That's fine. One person can have a fight with me and the other person doesn't have to be involved with it.
No, totally.
But like, what I'm saying is there, like, for example, I lived in a house senior year and a lot of people didn't care about COVID and I did. And they were like doing a lot of like partying stuff, whatever. We're all past it now, but like it really bugged me at the time that like nobody seemed to be on my side about not wanting to have parties. My roommate at the time was very much like privately was like, I totally agree with you. And she would comfort me about like, she's like, you're totally right. I don't know what they're thinking. But then when it came time for us to have like a house meeting and vote, she would like vote against me.
Yeah.
I'd be like, you're so afraid of someone talking shit about you for 2 seconds that you won't back me up, but you'll tell me in private and like let me cry to you in private. That is like the most fucked up thing I think I could ever imagine.
Well, because that's a trust violation.
It's a huge trust violation.
So that's like a different
like it's like public shaming and like allowing me to be publicly shamed when you like you're too much of a pussy.
100%.
So it's like if you're gonna tell me to my face, like if you think there's a gray area with this person, if you think that there was reason for her to be called a bitch, even though it's a bit of a strong word, I get it. Then you can talk to her face and be like, look, totally a harsh word, but like I kind of get what she was saying here. So I'm on your side in one way, but like I'm not gonna come out and say she was wrong.
Yeah.
But like if you know that she was in the right and you're gonna tell her to her face, like, okay, privately, you were completely in the right, then you better also, when the time comes, publicly say that she's in the right.
Totally.
Say it in front of everybody.
But I guess what's interesting is that this question is more directed at the friends of this group and not the main 2 people in the fight. Like she's being like, should I still like, can I be friends with the people who are not picking sides? Like that's what she's more asking about. Right. And in my mind, I'm like, it doesn't, that part doesn't matter. Like it's not between like, if like how our friends felt about a fight between you and me, like that doesn't matter to me. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't think, like if we're talking like if it was like something super fucked up and they're like pretending it didn't happen, like maybe, but this sounds like it was not like something insane. Like it was probably just like a normal fight that happens. It's like, yeah, like some people just aren't gonna pick sides and that's fine, you know?
That's where we differ. Like I think that sometimes you do need to pick sides. And like I don't, in this particular situation, I can see why it's like, okay, fine. It seems like it's gonna blow over. Like it's just, it doesn't need to be brought up. But if your friend were to express like, do you agree with me? Like if she were to like ask you, you know what I mean? You have to pick sides. I really do expect them to be like, if you're going to say it to me privately, then you better defend me publicly.
I get that.
You know?
Was that all the calls for the week?
No, we have one more.
Oh, we have one more. Yay.
Okay, so I've been hanging out with this guy the whole entire summer, and I met him during the school year via my older brother. which in itself is already kind of. Anyways, so we didn't start hanging out till like a month after that, and I thought him and my brother were like still pretty good friends. Well, turns out my brother randomly and spur of the moment decided he hated him and that he was the worst person ever. And I don't know if I'm still hanging out with this guy because my brother doesn't want me to, or because I really like him. Anyways, I think it's because I really like him. But if it's going to cause tension between me and my brother, should I continue to do it? Even though my brother is moving out to college in like 2 weeks. Anyways, let me know if I should keep seeing this guy. I think he's precious, but
You think he's
Brayden
what?
likes DL a lot.
Okay, I have a million questions.
Oh my God, that's so cute.
It
It's
is cute.
scandalous.
It's kind of scandalous. I guess I do think you need to ask your brother why he hates him, because if there's like a fucked up thing you don't know about, you need to know about that.
Yeah, you need to know what he did. That's my first thing too.
100%.
But do it in such a way where your brother doesn't know that you're asking because you're hooking up with him.
Yeah, does the brother not know that they're hooking up?
He definitely knows. There's no way he doesn't.
Well, because then here's the other thing. That might be why he fucking hates him. He's fucking his sister. And they're high schoolers. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so we don't know if they're fucking. I think they're like hanging out. Look, by the time we're recording this, I'm assuming the brother's going off to college like right now or in a week.
Yeah.
Keep doing it. Like whatever.
Yeah.
You're going to forget about this. You're
It's a
going to
summer
laugh
fling.
about it. It's a summer fling. There's
The
a
one
zillion
thing you
movies
do-
about this.
You do just have to check with the brother why he hates him, because if he did something really bad, then you want to know about that.
Yeah, but I
But
think you're
other
right
than
that the
that-
brother probably hates him because he like
100%.
admitted I want to fuck your sister.
Yeah.
So like, you know what? Figure that out. But after that, it's like something about big brothers. Did she say it was a big brother? Yeah, right?
I would assume so, because he's going to college and she's
Yes. Big brothers and little sisters. This drives me nuts, okay? This is why I hate guys with sisters. So especially little sisters. They always, sorry, you're gay. Doesn't count. I'm talking about straight guys.
Gay men
with
can't
little
vote.
sisters.
Talia said it. I'm gay. It doesn't count. Gay men don't count. Gay men don't
hate
matter.
Straight guys with little sisters because they think they're like God's gift to earth.
No,
but also
they're very toxic. I know what you mean.
they literally refuse. They can't see their little sister as a person. They see her as
Right.
their little sister.
Right.
And they also, so they have this weird protectiveness over her, but they can't extend that to any other woman. So it's like,
Right.
do you know how many, I'm not explaining this perfectly, but do you know how many people I know who, for example, would have their little sister come and like visit the frat house, and they'd like literally have fist fights with anybody who dared speak to the little sister, talk to the little sister, say that the little sister was hot behind her back. But then the same guy is like talking about women in the most vile, disgusting way. And it doesn't come from, oh, I see my sister as a human and nobody else. It comes from, I see my sister as a precious, subhuman other thing, ethereal being, and other women are objects. But still, it's objectifying the sister by saying like she can't have her own agency to decide what she wants. This always happens if you were like the little brother and you were hooking up with a guy that your older brother knew. Like if you he wouldn't care. Guys cheer on. A better example of this would be like, okay, say there's a parent with a daughter and a son, and the daughter is dating somebody, and the son also had a girlfriend, and they were both kids, whatever. The dad would always be like, yeah, my son is like getting it in, right?
Yeah.
But don't touch my daughter. My daughter cannot be alone in the car with her boyfriend. She's too young to have a
100%.
boyfriend. This happens all the time. So I'm saying that your brother probably wouldn't give a fuck if you were a guy and hooking up with someone he knew.
Yeah.
He'd high five you if you were like his little brother who was hooking up with his friend.
Right.
But like, because you're a girl, he sees you as like untouchable.
Right.
And it probably started a fight. Either way, fuck him. You should be allowed to say like, yes, I'm sorry that it's your friend, but like at the end of the day, I'm a human being and I have needs and I'm allowed to like who I like. Like
keep hanging out
guys
with the
just
guy.
feel this way about younger sisters.
Yeah.
Something about men with younger sisters that like drives me fucking insane. It's like so they think they're like, oh my God, they're like the leaders of the feminist movement by being like, don't fuck my sister. She's too young when she's like 25. It's just disgusting the way that they talk about their little sisters. It's like gross. Like guys who have little sisters have an even harder time humanizing women.
I've always thought the more that men have a negative reaction to people dating their little sister is more of a red flag to how they treat the women they date. Because that's what they're a fear of.
Have you seen all these viral videos of guys being like, who's the guy on the team that you wouldn't let date your sister?
Yeah, it's
and
so
it's like
crazy.
the way that you guys defend your sisters, but you literally like. How about this guy that you're talking about? Oh, I would never let him touch my sister. Maybe he's like a danger to women and just sucks. Like everyone's like, oh my God, I would never let Brad go by my sister with a 10-foot pole. And 50 guys say the same thing about this Brad guy. It's like, maybe Brad should be locked up then.
Yeah.
Because you can't fathom the way that he would treat your sister. And that's the only woman that you can humanize in your mind.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
Maybe Brad's a bad guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I just hate those videos. It's like, I can only humanize women who are my sister and acknowledge that like a way of treating them would be bad if they are my sister.
Yeah.
But this guy that I'm talking about who's disgusting, who I wouldn't let date my sister, if he treats any other woman like this, he's a G. He's a bro.
It's crazy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is that what guys still say? Are you a G? Are you a bro? Is that like when someone's cool? Okay, is that it? Anyway, so yeah, fuck your brother's friend. Fuck him and let him get you pregnant and just live your life.
All right. Well, on that note, we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
This
fuck
has been
your
Basic
brother.
Training. Pull up the phone number. What is it?
The number is 929-269-4960. Please call us and ask for advice or anything you want.
Come chat with us. We'll play it on the pod. We'll be back next week with more advice questions, more things to talk about. I'll have been on vacation for 3 weeks or 2 weeks. I'll have so much to talk about.
So much to talk about. And I'll have nothing to talk about.
Okay. Love you.
Bye.
Mwah. Bye. Oh, rate and review the podcast for the love of God.
Oh my God.
Rate and
leave a
review the podcast
please.
on Spotify and Apple Music, whatever else you listen to. Rate and review the podcast for the love of God. Okay. We love you. Bye.
Please, bye.